Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday encouragement. Hope you're having a great week. Or if not, I hope we can provide you with a little midweek boost. But before we get to our devotional thought, let me remind you of an event we have coming up this Friday. On Friday, we're having a children's and family outing to Virginia Safari Park. It's going to be a fun time seeing some of the amazing animals of God's creation. And if you haven't already signed up, you need to contact Christy Martin today at the email address below. The cost is $11 for students and $17 for adults, and the vans will leave the church at 8:30 Friday morning. So to get more information or to sign up, contact Christy Martin today. Well, I want to ask a question that might dredge up some less than completely pleasant feelings, but stick with me through it, okay? Where were you picked for teams when it came to schoolyard or playground sports growing up? Yeah, I know that's not fun to think about for some people. When people are picking teams for sports, the first ones chosen are the ones who are the fastest and the most athletic. Some of you were among the first ones chosen, while others of you just hoped you wouldn't have to endure the humiliation of being picked last. For me, it was kind of a mixed bag. My family moved around a lot, and I changed schools 6 times. So I was the new kid a lot. And when I was the new kid, I was usually passed over in favor of those who were known to be athletic, and I was kind of left toward the later stages of the draft. After I'd had a chance to show what I could do, I moved up toward the early rounds the next time teams were chosen. But then we'd move again, and I was back to square one. So I can kind of empathize a little bit with those of you who dreaded having people pick teams because you were usually overlooked. But one of the great things about being a Christian is that God doesn't do things the way we do. When you look at the men Jesus chose to be his closest disciples, the ones he would entrust with starting the church and spreading the gospel throughout the world, he didn't start with the best and brightest of the religious world. In fact, that's part of why he had so many run-ins with the religious leaders. They figured the real Messiah would choose them first, so Jesus had to be an imposter. Instead, Jesus chose, as Scripture describes them, unschooled, ordinary men. He didn't choose the Pharisees with their extensive biblical and theological education. He chose fishermen. He chose tradesmen. He chose a political activist. He even chose a tax collector, someone hated by his fellow Jews. It wasn't exactly the guys listed in Who's Who in Israel. He even chose Judas and gave him a chance to be a part of his kingdom. Jesus looked at the guys their culture would have chosen last, and he chose them first. And I don't know about you, but that encourages me. Listen to what 1 Corinthians 1 says. I love the Message paraphrase of this passage. It says, "Take a good look, friends, at who you were when you got called into this life. I don't see many of the brightest and best among you, not many influential, not many from high society families. Isn't it obvious that God deliberately chose men and women that the culture overlooks and exploits and abuses, chose these nobodies to expose the hollow pretensions of the somebodies? That makes it quite clear that none of you can get by with blowing your own horn before God. Everything that we have, right thinking and right living, a clean slate and a fresh start, comes from God by way of Jesus Christ. That's why we have the saying, if you're going to blow a horn, blow a trumpet for God. Isn't that a great way of putting it? God makes it clear that we're chosen, not because of our intelligence level or our skills, but because of our willingness to make ourselves available to God so that he can work in and through us. We don't need a PhD in theology or Bible to be chosen by God, just a willing and humble heart.